All right, that's audio log number 1. Gino is turning out to be a lovely soul.
Meow.
Meow.
You can see them all listed right there.
At around
The 1, 2, 3, 4.
I see
Link.
him.
Okay, great.
All right, here's number 2.
at around 20 square miles left to go, came across this small-ass village. They haven't seen us yet, but by the looks of it, they don't have any high technology. There isn't even 100 of them. Just a bunch of hillbillies, really. I don't think there'd be much of a chance against any sort of monster or any group of people with high-powered weapons and impressive body armor. Yeah, I bet just one look at Gino and they'll shit themselves. Perrin has no idea where we are. No one has any idea where we are. We could use this as a pretty decent hideout. Fuck it. This town's ours.
Okay, that's number 2. So it turns out it was all in self-defense. Here's number 3.
It took a bit of a scuffle, but I think it's pretty clear that we're top dogs here now. The whatever he called himself, sheriff, chieftain, leader, whatever, the old coot gave us some problems, so I vaporized him. His son and one of his friends tried to go at Gino, but he cut them down pretty quick. After that, everyone pretty much towed the line. Bates says that if we're not too rough on them, some sort of syndrome's gonna kick in. I don't know exactly what he said, some German word. Either way, they'll come to like us or tolerate us, and that's fine by me. We're gonna have to be careful the next couple weeks, make sure no one tries anything, but after that, I figure we can settle into a nice little routine. Yeah. It's good to be king.
Okay, I'm starting to think that maybe choking Diego out was too nice. And finally, audio log number 4.
Fuck! God damn! Sons of bitches were staging a revolt right underneath our noses. God damn it. Yeah, the chieftain's bitch daughter went off and seduced Bates into the goddamn woods and then shivved him in the neck with some sharp piece of metal while his pants were still around his ankles. By the time we found out, she was long gone. I sent Gino off to find her, track her down, and while he was gone and there was only me and Max left, that's when they struck. Oh, shit. 12 of them. 12 of them ambushed us. If it wasn't for my goddamn armor, I'd be a dead man. What a waste of goddamn ammo. The only good news is that Gino managed to find the bitch, brought her back alive. We made a goddamn example of her. But that's it. These people are broken. They fucking despise us. The ones that are alive anyway. And they're gonna do anything to see us down. Well, that's it. 8-hour shifts. We each take a rotation to sleep, to guard, and then do whatever the fuck we want for the other 8 hours. No long-term plan here, that's for damn sure. No syndrome's gonna be kicking in. They say that a caravan's supposed to come in the next month or 2. We'll eat and fuck our way until that caravan shows up. We'll rob it and head down south. Motherfuckers.
Okay, well, that's all the audio logs.
Yep, it is. Woo! Audio logs. Woo! Production value. All right.
We were. By the way,
Very nice work.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And we were wrong all along. It was the butler.
It was the butler. Okay.
Winston!
Now,
My
guys.
character goes. So what I got from that was I think the artifact is south. So
Yeah.
we should probably mark that down.
I
And,
am agreed.
and actually, you and Squee can both do a kind of a combined computer skill check. I guess you could say, like, Squee, maybe you could assist Piff and give him, like, say, maybe a plus 15 to his roll.
Okay. Yeah, because his is much better than mine anyway.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So go ahead and try again and try to find those files that you're looking for.
Yay.
Excellent. Wonderful. So throughout all the data, you can find very intricate notes. Diego was a complete asshole, but he was a very good tracker, and he did take some pretty good notes. So you can tell that what they were looking for, they were scouting a 5-mile radius. And before they actually reached this village, he almost pinpointed very close, within a 5-mile range of where they haven't investigated it. And by his notes, he's quite sure that what they were sent to find was there. So you can actually use those notes, and if you choose to, you can go to that place. And using those notes and your land navigation, I bet you could find it pretty darn well. So, most definitely.
My character
However,
smiles and
yeah. Now the notes don't actually say what the artifact is. Just something magical that will wave away his debts with some guy named Perrin. Now, the name Perrin, though, you guys have traveled the area at least a little bit. You know that the closest bit of civilization that aren't like little tiny scattered villages such as this is a place called Perrin's Post, which is pretty much a trading outpost run by a guy named, surprise, surprise, Perrin. So you're willing to bet that the Perrin in this book and the Perrin at Perrin's Post is probably that same person. So now in the actual hut itself, amongst their camping gear, there are quite a few possessions. And the woman Diana has already said explicitly that you're free to take these as you wish. So I'll list them, and I can copy and paste them into the chat, and you guys can decide what you get, or one person could be in charge of it, or whatever. But I'll just list this out, okay? So you have an additional particle beam rifle, so a mega damage rifle, 2 fragmentation grenades, 2 smoke grenades. A pulse rifle that Max was using, a laser pistol very similar to what Squee is using called the C-18, a laser rifle that Gino was Gino was using, 1 vibro knife, so that's a knife that can do mega damage, and there's a set of coalition body armor there that is slightly damaged, but still has that. But still, it's light coalition body armor, but it has a few shots at it, but it's still relatively decent. There are several credit chips or like credit cards that has money on them. Taking some time to see how much, it looks like it's about 10,000 credits combined. There's a Wilkes laser scalpel. That Wilkes portable laser torch that was in the middle of being repaired. There's a flashlight, 3 filled eclipse, 1 half full eclipse, 7 empty eclipse that need recharging, a gas mask, a robot medical kit. So for those of you who aren't aware, it's actually a little kit where little tiny robots come up and like stitch your wounds and stuff for you. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
And yeah, I know. It's adorable and useful. And also half of a tube of a protein healing solve, which is really good to treat burns. And around the back of the building is actually a large custom armored Jeep. It looks like your standard Jeep that we would drive nowadays, but it's been clearly plated with mega damage reinforcements. However, the wheels have been removed, and the wheels can be found actually inside the hut. It's fair to assume that these bandits actually removed the wheels so the villagers couldn't use their own car to run away. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what it is. It's the if you were to investigate the actual Jeep itself, you'd find out it has an electric engine and there's about 100 miles left of, I guess, energy left. So yeah, yeah. So that's what you have here. I'll copy all this down and put in the notes, and you guys can decide if you want to switch the loot now. I mean, if you want to divvy up the loot now, if you want to just stick it in one of
Oh,
your. Oh yeah, sorry. There's a lot of stuff there, but there you go. So feel free to divvy this up stuff right now, or stash it away, or leave whatever you want. The other thing I might want to mention is that obviously you took the laser pistol, so all the weapons are off these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only going to say this only because you guys don't know the world very well, so I'm kind of giving you a hint. Gino himself, you shot him in the eye. The rest of his cybernetics is perfectly fine, and you might be able to find a buyer if you don't worry, if you're not against selling a metallic corpse. Of course, you'd have to worry about transporting it. But, yeah, he is also a potential income source. As morbid as it sounds.
But what about his brain?
They can just scoop it out. It's fine.
The guy had an intelligence of 6. He didn't use his brain much anyway.
Out of curiosity, what does the laser scalpel do?
Well, much like an actual scalpel, the really handy thing is with the laser scalpel, it can be found in the Rift's main book.
Mm-hmm.
But the really nice thing about it is that it's adjustable. So if you ever had to heal like a mega damaged creature, though, like you'd be able to actually cut through the skin properly. But the really nice thing about a laser scalpel, unlike a bladed scalpel, is that it can't be possibly infected or contaminated. You don't have to worry about sterilizing it. Plus, it's much more precise, especially for you since you've been trained to use high-tech equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you a bonus to your healing skills, or if you have to do any sort of surgery. Plus, as a laser, it actually cauterizes the cut, so it also eliminates a lot of bleeding.
So
it's a very good device.
So basically, I see that and my eyes just start shining. Like,
yeah, it's certainly useful. Yeah.
You pick it up and you hold it over your head.
do you guys mind if I take?
Not if you don't mind me this blowtorch.
Yeah, Piff, you'll
Do
probably
you
have to
guys-
try to finish the repairs of that, but yeah, you can take it.
I do have weapon engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not-
going to be able to do it. Tell you what, Piff, since you guys plan on staying the night, you'll use the skill, but just because you are so skilled, you'll be able to finish where Max left off.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Should I roll now or?
No, don't roll. We're going to say you did the skill, and I'm going to give you experience for using the skill too, so you're good.
Ooh.
So by the morning, that laser torch is going to be fixed and in your possession.
Excellent. I was actually going to try to strip that Jeep.
Okay.
Strip the Jeep. Okay.
Yep.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Well, before we do that, we should decide: do we want to try and sell this corpse? Because that's pretty much the only way we're going. Unless your AV has baskets big enough to carry them.
Yes,
Well,
it does.
actually, it actually does. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It does.
Well, then never mind. Strip the Jeep.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was I can put the wheels back on and leave the Jeep as it is for the villagers, but we can also de-armor it if we want to, and maybe armor up our bikes or our Jeeps or that kind of thing.
Ooh.
With
Yeah, that's what I was
MDC
going to do.
armor.
I was going to try to strip the armor.
But I would want them to have like the basic shell of the Jeep
Okay.
without the armor, if that's fine.
Do we need to give them the Jeep? Is that a...
No,
Well,
you don't need to.
are we gonna take it?
No, I don't
Because
think
if we're
it's even their Jeep. I'm quite sure it's the Raiders Jeep. It's,
Would it be
Yeah.
helpful for them? I'm sure they would probably need it more than we would, unless you have plans
They
for
would
it.
need it.
all right.
That's what I'm thinking. Just leave it for them. But we're going to de-armor it and all of that because it's just a work truck.
We should probably also ask, with a lot of this stuff, if they would be able to sell it to help pay for repairs and such.
True.
Yeah, the Diana, she's pretty much the spokesperson. We don't have to roleplay every conversation, but
Right.
as you talk to her throughout the night or whatever, she says that, she's like, she'll definitely use it. Frankly, if you plan on giving her the Jeep, they can use it to help with their crops because their manpower has obviously been diminished. And after that's done, the caravan is supposed to come in the next month or so, and they can use that to trade for the supplies so that they can actually rebuild the town
Would
and
everyone
get
be
on with their lives.
Would everyone be okay if asking if they could find a seller, like basically use that robotic corpse to sell and get money to help repair the damages? I don't know if, first of all, is that something they could do?
Well, they say they don't really know much about the technology, but the people that come and trade, even though that might be outside their wheelhouse, they'll probably take it and give them a fair price for it. They've been dealing with these traders for years and years and years, and they're not one to swindle.
Are you guys okay with that, or do you want it? I kind of, it's up to you guys.
Let's see here. If you guys
I'm not-
want one, go ahead.
I was gonna say my character's not particularly too strapped for money, so he can go either way.
Neither am I.
I don't care.
I mean, we can just take the credits and leave the corpse with them.
And yeah, the corpse, and if maybe whatever weapons we don't want, leave it with them.
Listen. All I want is the tiny little robot thing. That's all I want.
You're welcome to it. Yeah. So why don't we do that? Why don't we take the credits, the laser scalpel, the torch, the robot med kit, and whatever else you guys may want, maybe eclipse and all that, and just leave everything else for them so that they can sell and help repair the damage.
I'm gonna be a little interested in the grenades.
Also,
that's
I
fine.
have a request. What's
An
your name of your character,
Eclipse,
Piff?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Patrick.
Patrick, do you have skill? Could you maybe take a look at the corpse and maybe be able to tell them what would be a fair price so that they can't get swindled? I don't know if you have that ability or not. I certainly
He
don't.
does. He can appraise.
Looks a bit wide-eyed. He's like, I'm not particularly too good with. Well, actually, no. He's all robots, so that's fine. That should be.
Yeah,
I
you
should see
can.
that.
I'll give you an estimate, and because you're not super interested in technology, I'll make it a broad estimate. You
Like,
figure
it's-
anywhere between 100,000 and 1,000,000 credits,
Nice.
That's
which
really
is
good.
which is a huge amount of money.
Right.
In addition, Diana, although is very grateful for anything that you leave to assist to help them to rebuild on their own, she is a little worried about hanging on to the corpse of one of their persecutors.
Okay.
Even as, you know what I mean? Like, she says, like, we can't really bury him, so we're going to have to store him somewhere, and every time a villager will cross paths, it will remind us of this. I don't know how well we can heal with that. If we won't say no to a gift, and we'll do our best to endure, but if you want him, by all means, get him out of our sight. We'll bury the rest of the dead, but this creature, if we're to sell whatever's left of him, we can't bury him.
Well,
I suppose that I can carry that back.
You're going to
Yeah.
need a lot of help. All four of you are. He is practically half a ton.
Oh
All
yeah,
four
no,
of
no,
you.
I'm not mean literally. I mean like.
Oh,
I
okay.
suppose we can take him off your hands.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Sorry.
Can we leave them anything else? I feel so bad for these people.
With the laser rifles and whatnot, they will be more than laser rifle and body armor that we're leaving them.
That's true. The body armor could
Yeah.
sell
That
for
should
quite
be
a bit.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. Then we'll do that.
Mhm.
Maybe take. We should
Or,
probably
or
take.
you know what? Frankly, they probably will use the body armor, so this doesn't happen again.
Right.
Yeah, and arming them is not a bad thing either.
Maybe
Plus,
the grenades would be worth taking.
yeah, the grenades.
I would definitely keep the Eclipse,
Yes.
empty or
certainly.
not.
Certainly. I fired 3 shots with mine, so I'm down to. I gotta keep
Thank you
track
for
of this
keeping
stuff.
track of your shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
-1 on mine.
I am while we're talking gonna start rolling the wheels out and bolting the wheels onto the Jeep.
Okay, excellent. Good stuff.
All right, and then so anyone want to hold on to the grenades?
Uh, I pick them up and I hand them to Mila, and I go, here, you can use these for combat. This one makes things hard to see. This things make explode.
All right. I'll use it right now.
No.
What?
No,
What?
this isn't
Like
combat
puts
yet.
hands over hers. Da, 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 da. Not now.
What?
But let me show you exactly how they work. So you pull this little pin, but don't pull it
Like
now
you-
when we're in
oh,
combat.
Oh.
So there's this
All
little
right.
pin here, and then you kind of detach
You know
it.
what?
And
Here's
then
a
you
better.
throw
Here's
the bigger
here's-
part, not
here's-
the little pin thing.
Here's a better idea. How about we give you the smoke grenades, and I'll hold on to the fragmentation grenades.
But I can't take the smoke grenades because I don't smoke.
No.
What?
No, he misspoke. This is the making things hard to see grenade.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
mist
smoking.
grenades.
No,
Oh, so
it's a hard to see
I-
grenade. Don't confuse
I can
the young
control the
lady.
weather with this.
See, you're confusing her. This is a hard to see grenade where you throw that where it lands and then activates. It will be hard to see in a little area where you threw it.
All right. I got it. I'll hold on to it, and when we need to be hard to see, I'll throw it.
There's 2
Yes.
of them.
I'll throw
We
both
got
of them.
to-
Sorry, got a
Yeah.
little excited there.
And then how about one of us hand the explode grenades?
Look, she needs to be part of the battle, and I hand her the other 2 packers.
I got my robot. Look at my little robot. He's gonna heal us all. La, la,
Oh, okay, so what it is, sorry, just so I can explain a little bit more, Cran, it isn't like a tiny, like, it's not like a C-3PO robot. What is it's almost like the size of like a small purse, right? And you would open it up, and these little tiny robots, like an inch big, would like crawl skin and like stitch up your cuts and disinfect the wounds. And then once they're all done, they go back inside the little container.
Mila just shakes the box over and over again. I know you're in there.
I would go up to her and be like, "It's just, let me show you how to use it, just like
Yeah.
mine," and I would show her how to use it.
Stuff.
What
So
is my
yeah, so we're gonna
intelligence?
just go.
It's
Your
slow.
intelligence is pretty good.
Oh,
actually. Your intelligence is average. It's a 9. So yeah,
little
you can
space
learn
heat.
this.
It was the heat of battle.
You're just you. You're just you.
Oh, also, Inferno, don't I have to roll for my combat computer? I forget what it is. Or would you not consider that intense combat? I'm not sure how that
That
works.
was intense combat. You were only hit once.
Okay.
Like if you dropped it, or
Mhm.
if they tried to shoot at it, or
Okay.
you used it a little bit more, then I'll have you roll for it. But thank you
Okay.
for asking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna say, so for the rest of the night and the morning, just let me know what you guys want to do, but if it's definitely like time possible, then totally for sure. We don't have to role play every single hour, right? So let me get this straight. There are obviously Diana. She's gonna feed you what you want. You have a place to rest. The plan is to repair the portable blowtorch, strip the armor off of the wagon. Sorry, the Jeep, I guess you could say. Strip the armor off the Jeep. Make sure everything else is running fine for them. And haul the very dead Gino to your to Piff's ATV.
Mhm.
Correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Is
We-
there
we would
anything
prob-
else you guys want to do?
We would probably drive the ATV up and then just
Well, yeah.
toss
yeah.
him in.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of, unless anyone wants to have
Yes.
like conversations.
Yes.
Uh,
I actually
okay.
have something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Lay it on.
So, I would also like to check the dead body of the guy that we killed at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, he's in the root cellar. So,
Yeah.
We forgot
a
some
few
about that.
hours
You
later. Well, see, this is the thing. A few hours later, they'll bring out the dead body of him. He's still in his armor too, but if you want to leave that with him, fine. But yes, so what do you want to do to check out that body, Piff?
I just want to see if there's any extra, like, ammo, guns, things like
He
that
had-
on it.
Well, he had the laser pistols gone. His armor was still on him, and he had one additional E-clip on him. The rest, the rest of his possessions were actually in that hut. He wasn't going out planning for a fight today, so.
Also, I have his laser pistol, just so you know.
Oh,
Right.
yeah! Another thing, heads up, he has a cybernetic eye and a cybernetic arm.
Yes.
Yay! More detect. Do you have a delicate way of removing this, or should I just, you know?
He has a
just-
laser scalpel.
I have a laser scalpel. I assume I would be skilled at, since finesse is not necessarily needed in such a
Yeah,
thing.
you have all the time in the world. What I'll
Yeah.
do, though, is still have you roll
Okay.
your medical check. Because you have all the time in the world and you're using the laser scalpel, I'll give you a plus 10%.
Okay.
And even if you fail, you don't mess up the entire thing. Maybe you just damage it a little bit.
Okay,
You
so
know what
I need
mean?
below 85 then.
Okay, so yeah, well, you know what? We'll say. Yeah, okay, great. So wonderful. So that's for the arm. And for the eye, it requires a little bit more surgery. So instead of being below an 85, we'll make it below an 80.
All right. Ooh.
Oh,
Ouch.
dear. So unfortunately, you just assumed that the eye was wired the same way that your eye has.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out the cyberdoc who did this did it in a little different way, and you severed the optical cords. So you still have it, but you only was able to really recover half of it.
Sorry.
Which, yeah. Well, he's dead, so he doesn't care.
I was talking to Piff. Patrick. Gotta think SpongeBob. Patrick. Got it.
This is Patrick.
This is Patrick.
This is Patrick.
So, if you want to do something beforehand, you can, but just kind of give you a heads up on what the villagers are doing. They eventually do come out. Only a very few thank you. The rest of them are still extremely skittish and constantly look at Diane for reinforcement. But once you're done, I guess you could say removing the cybernetic assets of the corpse, they bring the corpse to the tree there, and they bring the unconscious, the now very conscious and very tied up body of Max. He's not struggling, but he does keep pleading, and he does keep trying to reinforce that he didn't do anything, and he keeps pleading to you. But the villagers make it quite clear that they know exactly what they've done. Just like Diane said, as the dusk starts to settle, they do all take a turn and have a very low conversation, a very personal conversation with him and tell them exactly what he did. Max, at the end of this, there's probably about 40 villagers who spend the time talking to him, a few minutes each. So a good almost hour passes. And at the end, he's just weeping horribly. And he keeps saying how sorry he is and he didn't mean for this to happen. And then they get a rope and they hang him. And when he's dead, they bury both the corpses away from their own gravesite. And they don't even bother marking the graves. So, yeah. And then after that, Diana serves you a meal. You find out in this town, the town itself is actually called Fletcher. And the reason why they've been able to survive so well is because they were so out of the way. very few people visit them. You're able to find out from Diana that they are mostly subsistence growers, which means each family has its own garden, with some families having larger room to grow, and the community then pools its food resources. They still have